Sandy on the beat. So somewhere, all right, guys, welcome to the Voice of SIONE. With Dark Side for the esoteric. As you get on, please do me a big favor there on your side. I'd like you to hit the share button, and that's all you have to do. To hit share, and you just relax, enjoy the rest of the show. Yeah, let me see quickly. Let me get. I don't like my image back here. All right, so just welcome to the Voice of SIONE again with Dark Side for the esoteric. We are coming to you live from Prospect Park, Pennsylvania. Like I said, just hit the share button for me, and that's it. Relax and watch the show. Also, you can follow us on YouTube. That's another way you can follow the show. Just put Madison Freeman, and the show will be right there. We are live right now on YouTube. You can watch us from your big screen TV as well. All right, we have a beautiful, beautiful show today. And so I'd like you to share with your friends. We'll give you one more song, and then when we get back, we will start the discussion, what the show is all about today. But you both say you're going to pay. What? You will pay me before I share. Yeah, what I can do for sure is you can send your song to me. We can promote your song as well. That's another way to pay you. All right, to make your song popular. All right, so we're going to be right back. After this song, the next thing will be our topic for discussion today. All right?
AK on the...
From Bledu to your tea joker. Adua. Poebawa. To your scaloya. Poeba no bachelano. Mama Leo is the toya. When I poeba no bachelano. Toto Amoles. Go to the play. When I poeba no bachelano. Poeba no bachelano. You can't get no bachelor, no, you're covered. Babu, you can't no bachelor, no. You want to cry, no, joga oh moya wea. Mega paye pa oh. Karisa moya wea. Moji la ede mo. Dawe paye pa oh. Judo joga kaya konji we blow ade oh. Go asuru. Mola go kunwe wala we go apaye. Badu anisa you. Judo mo yirewe. Judo joga mo yirewe. Jade tu. Yo dey play oh. Judo joga mo yirewe. You want to cry your mama mo jije oh. Ala paye pa oh. I'm not gonna do the way oh. Why you blow your way oh. Then you go down in one blue edge now. You go down by the mo yirewe. Ala paye pa oh. Sorry by the mo yoga yo. I don't touch that in one blue edge now. Then we are paye pa oh. Paye pa oh. I feel my day ade oh. Paye pa oh. You don't do my scablo yeah. E ko inu ade wa. Mo du yi. Kene. O pi zoko. La turu kan yi. Manje pa mo ede. Consulto bien don pa ede. Consulto bien ya je veux don pa ede. Consulto bien ya sabe don pa ede. Consulto malo don pa ede now. Ile won si right well. Palu ji wa da mo. Yo jo ka ji we o. Mo ble nya tu e wa ye wa ide. Wa si ba ye mo bo jere kwere o. Lai we. Yo jo ka je e kon bla kwere o. Ma de. No ma to bi mo mo ade. Adele o ti mo wa ji we wa. So ku tri tu mo kanu ji yo jo ka we o adi we.
All right. Welcome to the Voice of SIONE, ladies and gentlemen. This is your humble host, Dark Side Porter Esoteric. Please share with your friends so that they will be part of the show. All right, so that's all I want you to do for me right now. We're going to get a show on our way in a little bit here. Let me do something quickly. I want to view something. I want to get something set up back here quickly, and we will get a show on the way for you. Let's see. No. Sorry, guy. I got a guy in studio here for you. I don't know multiple things here. All right, so we're gonna get that settled later. I want to just get an image in there, but the technology. It's technology. All right. Before that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Let me adjust my speaker here to my sound satisfaction. Okay, we should be good. I guess I don't like how my image looks. It's so blurry. I don't like that how it looks. Let me see something. I don't like the image quality. Oh, let me set up like it.
I said I get it. Daddy way. watch out. We must come together. Love is the reason why we live. Love is the only thing that brings us together.
All right, guys, welcome back. We have to have some. I'm just trying to improve the quality of my image on this screen for you. Hey, Gertrude, how you doing? Welcome aboard. Welcome to the Voice of Sign Up. Lusher, how you doing? Those are following. Yellow Pine, how are you? The James Panto, how are you? Motor J. Set a top end. That's who else? I think those are people I'm seeing from my side right now. All right, welcome. Again, welcome. Let's start the show here for you. It's a wonderful show. Even though I don't like the quality of my image on the screen, it's sort of blurry. I know that's how it looks from your end. But let's see, let's get that. So our talking points today. I hope you're having a beautiful day on your end. Okay. There's a lot of snow out here. Yeah, a lot of snow. Check the sound. The sound. Hey guys, is somebody else have the sound problem for your end? Let me know quickly if this sound is not good for your end. Let me check and get you right here too. Let's see. Okay. All right, I'm having a glitch. Share. All right, let's see what is going on here with sound issue. I never had this problem before. Not here. All right, guys, let's see here. One, two, sound check. Hold on a second. Not here. Oh man, hold on, guys. I think I gotta see it. Let's grab my piece. Gotta get that out of the microphone. 1, 2, sound check. Hold on a second. Not here. Oh man, hold on, guys. I think I gotta see it. 1, 2, sound check. Give me a second here, please. 1, 2, sound check. Hold on a second. So let me know if the sound is okay now from your end, please. But it looks like coming out good from my end now. One, two, sound check. Give me a second here, please. 1, 2. All right, so I guess the sound should be fine from your end. If you're having issues, please let me know. It's good now. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Gertrude. Thank you so much. I was about. I got a lot of. All right, yes, much better. Okay, excellent. That's what I would like to hear, because it's not good for me to be talking and you are now understanding what is being conveyed to you. So once again, welcome to the Voice of SIONE in the diaspora with Dark Side, Paul Exoteri, your host. So now that our sound is okay, we want to apologize from the beginning for the glitch over there. All right, so now I just want to share my agenda with you, and then we'll get the ball rolling. If you do, I still don't like my video quality. I don't know, but hey, once you're hearing me, that's what matters right now. Let me see here quickly. I know why. Normally don't have image problem. Okay, let's do it this way now. So let's get the. All right, so now the tradition here is to do a quick birthday shout out to people that I saw my friends on Facebook that celebrated a birthday. So I will do shout out to you. Next, we're going to reflect on the life of the late Honorable Oscar Quiah. I think if you somebody who follows all the activities of Liberia, you should know who Mr. Quiah was. It's still shaky. Are you guys still having sound difficulty? The sound difficulty from your end? Somebody says still shaking. If you're having issues, so I can put the other equipment on quickly. Yeah, because I don't want you to have some. Give me a second here. Let me put the other microphone on here. Sorry. Let's see it, guys. And now I don't have a technical crew here, so I'm the technical man. Some people the sound is okay, other people sound is shaky. So I don't know which is which now. Is it shaky? I don't know. So let's see. Let's try the other microphone here, so we can get rid of the sound issue we're having over there. Yeah, this one should be good. I'm quite sure. Yeah, give me a second, guys. I will get that sound issue settled. Let's see. For you, we want to apologize for the. We know they don't have technical glitch while equipment's around here. But no wants to know why technology. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. It's a bad show today. It's a bad start, but we're gonna get everything okay there for you. We know that I have issues with our setup. Let's see here. Put that one out. So we're gonna go blank for a minute here. All right. See, that's why I have to go through here, back here.
DJ Trace.
Is Yabanara?
C'est bled 20. C'est bled 20. See?
We need to go back on the Sakimo tree. People of Maserati, yeah, let's go back on the Sakimo tree. Fellow citizens, one amen, feed thy giant. Complete popo, entire with your story. You lie to us, you say you walk the light. Bio, you want big darkness.
Fake oppositions.
When black people in the time, one I make and one I let giant. You have a man now, one I make must calm down. Really, that play you setting and I'm sure I play, oh. When I'm begging you say, you just gotta calm down. FIFA around, oh, don't make us calm down. Don't make us calm down. You phone no around, don't make us calm down. Don't make us calm down.
Get it once up on sweat. Get it once up on sweat. If I get it once up on sweat. Get it once up on sweat. They want to not smell it. They other one they can smell it. They other one you can smell it. Different man, oh.
This time around, who we carrying? You better talking to it. We don't have a plenty of talk that who we carrying. You better talking to it.
You say you're the light, but I'm so scared. Don't fall for them, the minute I'm so scared.
In the middle of the night, I had a dream. Then I saw Boncante crying. Go and tell my people, I'm crying. Because the leader for the each other. I'm crying so much. Then I wake up in the middle of the night. Then I call my beautiful wife. I say, come for Colette. I had a dream, baby. I saw Boncante crying, say, the leader for the each other. Then I call my little son. I said, Jenny, don't suck it. Do not be like the pretty hunter or a riot. Don't be a good boy. Pretty hunter, KOJ, we don't want you be the hunter. Bone tire with you, pretty hunter. KOJ, we don't want you be the hunter. Everyone tire with you, hunter. KOJ, we don't want you be the hunter. Keep a roll at you, pretty hunter. KOJ, we don't want you be the hunter. They got money, lying, they are all wicked people. Wicked people, be careful. Now listen to the story. Listen to the story. Hey, well. Get our jeans, get our jeans, get our jeans, get our jeans, get our jeans. political soko. Don't mind him. He's a political soko. He's a political soko. We know you're lying around here to the people. Oh yeah. This year, May 2011, they all left from Bon County. Yeah. They went to the parliament to represent Bon County. When they came back on the 17th, many of them fall. Yeah. Those that survived, when they went by in the house, he told his friend, he said, can you please help me to become the normal salesman of Liberia? So that I can bring development. Then I stood by him, but he got a job. He was showing one of his friends, all around here. This is my friend. He's a very nice man. He's a wealthy man. Let us give me the chain for the second time.
All right. Hello there, guys. Man, just the volume on this echo for my hand here. I don't need echo. Hello. Test the mic. Test the mic. I need it. Hello. Yeah, perfect. We want to adjust the sound for our comfort here. Okay, good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Voice of SIONE. Sorry for the technical glitch today. It's crazy. All right, so while I was talking, I saw a couple of people to join the show. Lester Wille, welcome aboard. Angeline Weir, welcome aboard. Gerju again, thank you for coming. Mr. James Panto. George, George, welcome aboard. Luscious and others, thank you for joining the show. All right, so like I was saying before, we had the technical problem. My agenda for today is this right here. Hopefully my sound is crystal clear from your end. If that is the case, I want you to give me a thumb up, please, so I will make sure that the sound is okay from your side. Because it's not good for me to be listening to myself. It defeats the purpose of the show. All right, so this is what I'll be talking about again. So we'll do quick birthday greetings. After that, we'll reflect on the lifestyle, the legacy of Honorable Oscar Jaryee Quiah, former councilman who passed away in Liberia. We will also be talking about the leadership, I call that leadership without law and order, USAA in PERIL. All right, we're going to go into that in a little bit. Not a long agenda today, very sweet and short, or short and sweet. Next for our discussion today, I call this one Honorable ZARZAR, or Honorable Matthew G. ZARZAR, the appointed co-chair of House Committee on Ways, Means, and Finance, while Representative Duncan takes the chairmanship of Foreign Affairs Committee. All right, that's something we're going to be talking about. Let me see what I got for you again. The next one I'll be talking about Madam Grace BRIAMAH and OTHELLO NAGBE KOJO pledged their selfish quest for power over the interests of the people of SIONE. All right, and that's something also we'll be talking about tonight. Next for the last one, I think there's a mistake over there. Yeah, we'll be having somebody here to contribute, so that's not. But those are the things I'll be talking about tonight. It's very brief. So let's get to the birthday greetings first, and we will go on from there. All right, let's see here who I have to do a shout out to here quickly, and I'm gonna show the images. No, I don't need the music right now. So let me get to that picture. Okay, so the first one, I'd like to do a shout out, a happy birthday or belated birthday greetings to my daughter, Chami. Chami is in Liberia. We were together during my visit to Liberia not too long ago. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing to see the kids after a long time. You know, but she's doing good. She's doing good. So Chami, we want to say happy birthday from Daddy and your mommy, everybody out here, those in Liberia. We want to say happy birthday greetings to you. We wish you all the best. and everything life has to offer. Very, I got beautiful kids, and that's great. All right, Chami, you're doing good in school as well, and I want you to continue the beautiful work you're doing out there. Let's see, next person in our specific order. I also want to do a happy birthday greetings to Patience. Patience is should I say, the second lady for USAA North Dakota chapter. Patience Roberts, that's Patience Roberts. Patience also celebrated her birthday a couple of days ago, or if I'm not mistaken, today. But I saw her, and I just thought to do a shout out to her. So Patience, wish you many more years and the best life has to offer. All right, let's see what else I have here. Who else I want to do a shout out to here? Uh, the next person I want to do a birthday shout out to is my own sister, Gerju Goa. Gawa, if you want to be American. Gerju Gawa celebrated her birthday as well. So we want to do a special. We want to say happy birthday to you, Sis Gerju, and we wish you many more years. I'd like to welcome the chairman of the Sincan people in Liberia. He's now visiting with us in the U.S. Mr. Paulo Mane, thanks for joining the show. Appreciate your presence, sir. All right, so those are, I think those are the people. If you are celebrating your birthday today and we don't see, we didn't put your picture up, it's not on purpose, but we want to say happy birthday to you, and we wish you many, many, many more years. All right, that's my beautiful sister there, Gerju. She always beautiful. All right. All right. Let's get to the next one there. Next one here. Let me take my sister's picture down there. So let's get to our talking point here. All right, so we want to talk about Honorable Oscar Jaryee Quiah. As you all know by now, he passed away in Liberia. He was a state man, one of the guys that actually fought for the freedom that we are enjoying today. So he's not just a regular person. He played his part as a citizen of a country. And also we want to reflect on his legacy a little bit. So those of you that follow the show as well, if you want to participate, something about the deceased statesman, Mr. Oscar Quiah, you are free to call the show. There's a number at the bottom of the screen. You see that line that moving is called the crawler. And the crawler contains a number. You can call that number too. So you can just say something if you know the Lord or the hero. So you can say something about him. Yeah, but I will, before I get I get to the information that I have here, let me quickly play something here for you that I took from one of his, I think it's interaction during the TRC hearing. So let me just play this quickly for us. Hopefully when this sound will be good from your end. But let's see.
On important state matters.
Let me start this.
Ministers and ambassadors, how could you not know, or how could you not have been consulted on important state matters? So were you just there figuratively?
I won't say we're just there figuratively, but high decisions were made by military people in the government, because it was military government.
In view of your vast experience in Liberia's political struggle, what will you say has been your most defining moment, and what would you say has been your most regrettable?
My terrible moment was that the diversity between the military and the civilian. We could not achieve the objectives we have set ourselves. That's my regret. But then, the moment that gave me courage, that I'm satisfied over, was that the Liberian government became public to the Liberian people. It was no more few people saying it. It was Liberians saying it from all over the country.
Mr. Witness, there are various views on the rice riot. Some people hold the view that it wasn't necessary following the chaos that erupted. Some people feel it was necessary. It brought some issues into question and at the forefront or highlighted some issues. You, as the Secretary General of PAD at the time and one of those who organized the rice riot, do you think, given the belligerent attitude, according to you, of the Toba government at the time, they were not going to back out, even when Mr. Abapo tried to negotiate between the both groups? Since the Toba government was stubborn, do you think that maybe for the sake of preventing what happened, maybe you could have been the one to gracefully buy out? Do you think it would have saved the situation? Do you have?
I could not have bowed out. We're talking about people food. And government had the ability to have taken care of that food problem. Government didn't see it that way. So I was happy to push it to a dead end.
Follow-up question. Do you think, sensing the tension in the air, the days preceding the rice riot, do you think you could have called off the riot and the demonstration, pardon me, and then continue to dialogue or negotiate with the government? Do you think it was possible?
Don't you see the government had a greater role to play in this? Government had all the chances, all the options to have dealt with its own people food and also Queen and Bacchus Matthews. So the body of proof was mostly on the government.
This is a follow-up question because I didn't clearly hear your response at the time. My colleague asked you about your role as Minister of Rural Development and Urban Reconstruction. And I think he was trying to compare and contrast whether there was any change from the Togo government at the time and when all of you came into government. Now my question here exactly is, can you, if you can remember, name any specific development that went to rural Liberia during that time, and also any specific challenges that you faced as Minister of Rural Development that would have prevented you doing some of the things that you do?
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Some of those 10 years. Most of the buildings that are standing today, the even government will not touch, were built by Samuel Doe. 10 years. If those buildings had been completed, government would have had something to stand on to foster more development for the country. But because they were that of Samuel Doe, they were rejected.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the voice of Honorable Oscar Quiah, who passed away in Liberia, a great statesman. And so we want to use this segment of the show to reflect on the legacy of the great man. We don't have all the facts about the little information that we have. We'd like to share the information with you with respect to who Mr. Quiah was. Let me see. I want to open this document for you. So I just wanted to share this piece that was written, I think, from Liberia News Forum about him, and then I have other information that I want to share with you with regard to who Mr. Quiah was. So this piece here, it says here, I think I gave some good information here too. Oscar Quiah dies at age 77. Okay, so relatively speaking, he lived a little bit longer. Following his confession at the TRC, so I was just playing an excerpt from the TRC. You just listen to him, and while you listen to, you know, you can detect exactly where he stood on things. All right. So the piece says here, following a protracted period of illness, former state councilman Oscar Jaryee Quiah has finally faced the cold hands of death. The late Oscar Quiah was pronounced dead late Saturday evening, 30 January 2021, at the ELWA Hospital in Plainsville, outside Monrovia. Mr. Quiah was the first Minister of Internal Affairs after April 12, 1980, a violent military coup that saw the ascendancy of Master Sergeant Samuel Kayane to power and the execution of 17 government officials. During the coup, Quiah backers Matthews and other organizers of April 14, 1979 rice riots were awaiting a presidential decision on their fate, following a guilty verdict which blamed responsibility for the violent protests on them. The men known as the Progressives were released by the coup makers and appointed to senior cabinet portfolios. The Sano County kinsman, under former President Doe's regime, also served as head of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority. As a member of the Progressive, the late Matthew Quiah, let me put an image there. As a member of the Progressive, the late Quiah was able to secure the position of civilian general of the six-man council that headed the interim government preceding the leadership of Dr. Ibn C. Sawyer. Appearing before the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, it can be referenced that the late Quiah pleaded for forgiveness for his role in Liberia's ugly past. There's a quote here for him on the article. I want to tell the Liberian people I am sorry for whatever I did that was the cause of people losing their lives. He pleaded. Or he appealed, sorry. I'm sorry, he continues. I'm sorry. Quiah said while lying on the red carpet of the Centennial Memorial Pavilion on Ashman Street, where he was testifying before commissioners of Liberia's Truth and Reconciliation Commission. The founding Secretary General of the Progressive Alliance of Liberia, PAR, continued, I am saying this sorry for the depth of my heart. Making his statement before the TRC, Quiah discussed his role in the formation of the PAR, or PAL, in the United States, his return to Liberia, and his involvement along with others to organize April 14 1979 rice demonstration, his imprisonment, and April 12, 1980 military takeover. Mr. Quiah said, if Liberians do not forgive the country, the country would not be developed, and urged all Liberians to follow the path of reconciliation as a means to peace and development. Quiah is a quote from him: if we don't forgive one another, this country would not be built. Our generation would not be pleased and satisfied to see another war in this country. Liberia is rich but needs peace. Once there is peace, every citizen will be benefited. Mr. Quiah said his most regrettable moment was the diversity between the military and civilian components of the People's Redemption Council, saying due to that, they could not achieve the objectives set. Quiah attributed the rise and growth of pluralistic democracy in Liberia to the success of the struggle of the FAR, saying the struggles of architects of the Progressive Alliance of Liberia was a resounding success. Due to our advocacy, multi-party democracy is today a reality in our country. The TRC's thematic and institutional public inquiry hearings, during which prominent Liberians testified, the commission heard testimonies of prominent actors focusing on experiences from 1979 to 2003 each day of the hearing. Okay, so I'll just a little information here from this article that I wanted to share with you with regard to what role Mr. Quiah, or the late Quiah, played, the councilman. So additional information I'd like to share with you here. There were people that actually worked with the late Quiah, and the information I'm about to share with you, those are people that personally worked with him, and they shared the facts with you. So I just wanted to go into that a little bit. I want to give you that information. Somebody calling me back. Sorry, guys. So the late Oscar Jaryee Quiah, as I was told reliably, he was raised by what they call the Congo people. I think the other name for that is American Liberian, I think. Initially, his name was, the people changed, those of us that know the history of Liberia and Africa as a whole, the people that came, the immigrants, if you want to call them that way, the slaves returned to Africa. Before they help you, you have to maybe change your name. Not maybe, you have to change your name. So Mr. Quiah, then somebody who lived with the Congo people or the American Liberians, he had to change his name. So his name was Oscar Morris by then, Oscar Morris. And then after going to school and becoming conscious, so he later on changed his name to his original name, Oscar Jaryee Quiah. Okay. In the late 60s, Mr. Quiah, Honorable Quiah, taught at William V.S. Tubman School. So during that time when he was teaching, being that he was Afrocentrically conscious, he decided to introduce where he is from, the tribe he is from. So that's how he used to teach African studies at William V.S. Tubman School. And so that's how he placed Sapo on the map. He wrote a little novel or booklet, if you like, and that's how Sapo started to become prominent in the country, given the role he played. As I was reading the article earlier, he was also a founding member of PERIL, the Progressive Alliance of Liberia. And
we're going to say a little bit more in that regard, so that we're going to reflect a little bit more on his legacy, some of the things that he did in the country. I think the article said some things in that regard. He was also the Secretary General for the Progressive Alliance of Liberia. Later on, I think it is metamorphosed into a political party. So I was told it was called Progressive People Party. He was the Secretary General at the time. I stand to be corrected. He was also the first Minister of Local Government. He also served as National Housing Authority, boss man, if you like. He also, ladies and gentlemen, he was a great man. He served in different capacity, Minister of Post, and I think he served, Liberia Telecommunication Corporation and stuff like that. He served in that capacity. He became National Democratic Party. When he left the PPP, went to the National Democratic Party. He was the second, if you like, SG, Secretary General, I think Assisting Secretary General, or if not the Secretary General again. The facts are subject to correction. And so he went to the National Democratic Party. He was later elevated to Vice Chairman of the NDP. He was also a member of the Board of National, I think it was Board of National Social Security and Cooperation. And so he served in different capacities. He was a great man. Again, he was the six-man council chairman, I think assistant vice chairman or so. I'm not too sure about that fact. So he was actually a great man. He served in so many capacities in the country. I was also told that he built an elementary and junior high school in his town, Quiah town. He built a school there. The school was located between Weja and Namapo, so he wanted to serve the population in between there so people could come from every direction and go learn. Some people learn the French and all of that, So he was a great man. He played his part. As a statesman, as a citizen of a country, he didn't sit by. He was into agriculture. He had a big farm and all of that. You understand, during the TRC hearing, they were talking about food. The people needed food. It's critical. So he was into agriculture and all of that. So he was a great man. And he has no replacement. You can't replace a human being. But let's reflect a little bit on the struggle that the guys launched in the country. He was a member of the group they call the Progressives in the country. And the Progressives were those guys that fought the oligarchy, or if you like, the tyranny of the minority in the country. They had a minority group, the guys that came from overseas, were relocated to Liberia. I was suppressed in the West, but when they went back to Africa and to settle, they decided to replicate exactly what the people were doing to them on the plantations in the United States or other countries. And so they led the country for 130 some more years, suppressing the people. And then at a certain point, Mr. Quiah and others, they say, we cannot sit back. So after going to school, he went to school in Liberia and then came to the United States to do his advanced studies. After acquiring his education, the guys relocated to Liberia. And they said that we cannot sit down for a few group of people to suppress the majority. Then it defeats the purpose of our education. Because if you're educated, your education must be reflected in the lives of the people. So the guys, they fought. That's how they organized different groups for Power, for example, Power. On the other side, you had the Moja, a movement for justice in Africa. And so those guys, they battled the powers that be. People die in the process. Eventually, because of their struggle, because of what they did, the freedom that we have today in Liberia is because of what those guys did, the sacrifices they made. For us, and people saying, no, I have my education already, I will just sit back. But the guy said, no, got to fight for our people. And so the freedom to every time you go to bed, you got to thank this guy. I see people sometimes, they criticize the progressive, oh, they did not do enough. And, I mean, what have you? They will say a lot of things about those guys. But then I'll be asking myself, when you are asked, what is your contribution to your country? What would you say? Mr. Quiah fought for a pluralistic democracy, multi-party system that we have today in the country. That's something he left with us. Before then, we never had that. They had a few group of people. When you talk, they suppress you. They beat our parents. You know, I can remember when I was in the village back in the day, my grandfather used to educate and give me some lectures. He used to call the people quick. When I'm a queen in the gym one day, those so-called civilized people, when they come in, our people used to run, because if you do not run, when they get you, you got to tow this guy or man, whatever the person gender is. So literally the people used to actually force our people to do certain things. Sorry guys, for coming in. So this, Mr. Quiah and others, those are some of the oppression in the country that they fought against, the oppression of the majority. Imagine you are in a majority and then few group of people, they're suppressing to the guy, said this is not right. So he was a great man, great man. And so when people sometimes they try to relegate the Sapo tribe is not recognized in the country, but the likes of Mr. Quiah, how can you have somebody who was, like I can say, a vice president of the country, you know, since a councilman and then vice chairman of the six-man council, if not the chairman, the man served in that capacity. So how can you have somebody at that level and say the Sapo tribe is not recognized? If you read the CIA report, if you look at the tribes in Liberia, they got Sapo listed among those tribes. You know, so when people say the original, or if you like, the 16 major tribes of Liberia, Sapo is not included, therefore Sapo is not a major tribe in Liberia, then it begs the question, who wrote that book? Because the person, the author of a book will decide what to be in that book. So say, for example, a book was written by Sayapode. I'm not going to exclude the Sapo people. In fact, I will give you a comprehensive list of the various tribes in Liberia, because you got to do that. Because all the various tribes in the country, they make up the country. You know, so you can say, oh, the other people, they are not, I mean, to understand, you are putting people down. When you relegate certain tribes, you say, oh, they are not, part of the original or the major. You use the word major. What makes a tribe major over the other tribe? What are you using? What benchmark are you using? What is it that the Gio man, the Mandingo man, or the Kru man, the Loma man did, or woman did, that the Sabo people or the Crown man cannot do? Okay, those tribes or the other tribes that were negated or that were taken out of the history books in Liberia. So the author of a book will determine, you know, what you ought to know. And that's what I think was Dr. Ray Higgins that said, I think it's a quote. He says, I can't quote it word for word, but he said something along this line. One who writes, the authors determine what people think or what you should know. You know, whatever somebody writes, that's why you're gonna. If you don't do your own research, you just go off of that person or words, whatever that person says, and that's why you run with. And so some of those cleavages, some of those things in the history of Liberia, we all, those of us that are in school, we have the obligation to correct those historical inaccuracies, in our various textbooks, to have a whole nation, But Mr. Quiah play a major role in the country, and on behalf of the voice of SIONE, as the voice in the diaspora, we want to say, may the soul of this great man rest in peace. Our condolences to the bereaved family. 77 years he lived well. And so I think they cause for celebration instead of lamentation. But he lived well. Play his part. History will not forget Mr. Quiah in Liberia, our Honorable Quiah. You talk about the Progressive Alliance of Liberia, you talk about him, you talk about NDP, you talk about him. I mean, he served in different capacities in the country. And so he did what he could as a citizen of the country. And I hope we, as citizens, those of us who are the recipients of the legacy of Mr. Quiah and others, will also do our part, so that when we leave the scene as well, when we leave this earth, people will remember us. May the soul of this great man bless him. Hopefully the leadership, the United Sapota Association in Americas, will put out a statement to acknowledge this great man. The body of Honorable Johnny T. Clark is still in the funeral home. We have not gotten a statement from the Sapo community in the diaspora and those back home. What are we waiting for? These people, they serve us. They are no more. So the least we can do is to at least recognize them. Say something in their honor so that people will know that we also revered our heroes or heroines. But no statement up to now. Serve our community. The leaders, they are not doing what they're supposed to do. All right, so that's a little bit of Mr. Quiah. Like I said, those that are following the show, if you want to say something about him, let me know. The number below, you can call that number. I will bring you on so you can say something. Other than that, we're going to transition to something else. While I'm talking, if you still want to come on to say something about Mr. Quiah or Honorable Quiah, you are obliged to do so. All right, so while I was talking, those that just joined me, welcome aboard, Mr. Milton Shibe. And then I see my man Sheikh, welcome aboard. All right, let's go to the next thing here for our discussion today. Also, this one brings me to the USA or the United States. And I call this leadership without law and order. USAA in peril. What are we talking about when we say leadership without law and order? USAA in peril. Okay, when USA basically is the acronym for the United Sapota Association in Americas. And then when somebody is in peril, basically the person is in danger. So USAA is in danger. And I said the first line that leadership without law and order. If you are a leader and you cannot establish, or better yet, if there are laws in place and you do not enforce the laws, you have no, because law and order they go hand in hand. So you cannot have one and the other. All right, so they go together. Law establishes order. All right. So what I'm trying to get at here is in reference to the GEO's administration, with specific emphasis on the recent meeting that was held a teleconference. The organization, I don't know where we are headed. And if you ask me, it is very sad. And it is sad because I was in Liberia and I saw what our people are going through over there. And I saw the level of respect the people got for us. The way the people are looking up to us for help. But when we go to meetings, we get on the various teleconferences and stuff, our attitude, what we do does not portray a serious group of people. And I think the problem is emanating from the leadership. Because a leader, you see, leadership is the ability to influence ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Okay? So if you are a leader, your ability to influence people, to get the best out of people, to produce the best. You see, because when people produce their best, they give out good results. And those good results, if you are a leader, you take credit for it. So, but our organization, it seems as though our leader wants to take credit. That's how it looks to me. I could be wrong. And so he cannot even do basic delegation of tasks. He can delegate responsibility to people. So, for example, President Miles was in Liberia not too long ago. She is part of the National Executive Committee. Okay, what that means is all the presidents in the union, they get the team and they are headed by the national president. And so the Delaware Valley chapter, the North Dakota chapter, the Minnesota chapter, the Florida chapter, the Iowa chapter, those very leaders, they work in conjunction with President Jaryee. But President Jaryee wants to take all the glory. And so he cannot delegate. President Myers was in Liberia. It was simply said, oh, Madam President, I want you to take on, accomplish a task for me here. Delegate, present the necessary quarter that we build to the people. She could do that for us. It does not require additional budget. The president does not need to go to Liberia himself. Or better yet, President Myers is here. The leadership of the Support Association on the ground in Liberia. It's just a phone call away. You can just call or send a text message and say, XYZ, I want you guys to do this because we are working together as a team. The president wants to go to Liberia, so he requested for $16,000. The numbers are all over the place if you look at the voucher. But I mean, that we talked about that before in the prior show, but the major thing that I want to talk about here is the way the president conducts business of the organization. And the meeting, was it Sunday? The Sunday meeting, it says a lot about the organization. In the first place, an organization as the one we have, a lot of people, they look up to us, especially our people in Liberia. So the first thing you do when you get on a teleconference, there should be some sort of organization. You're in the age of technology. Every time you get a conference number from free conference call, you can have access to that. You automatically create an account. And so that account, you can use your computer, for example, to monitor the activities of the participants. You can even mute people from the computer. If somebody does not want to listen, you can also get the person off the line. You can do that. But the president, he goes to he organizes a meeting, no structure, no order. And people come on the teleconference, other people take a couple of time to come and participate in these things. And there will be noise. And the president will be on the line. What can I do? Yes, you can do something about it. You can do some. You are the leader. If you cannot control, you cannot, regulate the behavior of the people that follow you, you have a leadership problem. And so the president will be on the line. He said, what do you want me to do? It's democracy. People get a right to talk. We are not saying people don't have the right to talk, but you should establish and set an order. Use the technology to your advantage. We cannot say tell people to shut up, but use the technology. But you guys don't want to listen. The president doesn't, and your team, you don't want to listen to people. They just want to do their own thing. And so people waste their time. They come to the meetings, and people on the line are disturbing and cussing people out. It was embarrassing. This going meeting, a lady was on the teleconference and insulting the chairman of the board of directors, Mr. Sagwe. That lady was on the phone, and like it was a personal stuff going on. And she insulted the man, and there is no structure in place to stop the woman to get off of the phone. And she did what she could. Other guys are coming, and the other guy was insulting Kuli Morris and stuff like that. So President Julio is taking our organization in a totally different direction. This was not happening under the watch of Obaku. No, all these things are going on right now. But since President Julio came, this sort of blasé attitude, don't care. You can't run an organization like that. First of all, President Julio believes in laissez-faire leadership philosophy. You know what? It's free. Do what you want to do. But you don't do that in an organization where people are not sophisticated. Laissez-faire philosophy can be applied in an area where you have people with tested record, with history of accomplishing stuff. But in an informal setting like ours, we have to have some sort of rules. The president, him and his team, the guys, they came on the teleconference purposely to just disturb. And the president, how is it that you have over 20-some persons on the phone and you keep recognizing just one guy? He coming more than once. And then you allot time to people to speak. And then this guy would talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And the president would be on the line as though this guy is the one that controls him. It's sad. And the guy is not making sense. Those people that are supporting the president, they don't make sense. But those are the people the president listens to. And so that's why the United Sapota Association, those that are in Liberia, there are many reasons why you are not seeing results in Liberia. It's because the leadership is inept. The guy doesn't know what he's doing. He listens to people that have no ideas. And so our people, they are suffering. The children know, they're working barefoot. He got money in the account, and the president requesting for money to go to Liberia and that. Why he can send out money so we can get something for the children to wear? Why we can get something for, that money, that 16,000 you're requesting to help those children that are not in school in Liberia. There are a lot of things we can do with the money. But the president, he wants to go to Liberia so that the people will sing for him. And then he will get on the teleconference, and when the board of directors, the people that are second in command to the national executive, not national executive, but the General Assembly, when the guys, when he sends his report, whatever he gets, the guys send, they gave him a report or they gave him a reply. He doesn't want to recognize, he doesn't want to acknowledge what the people say. How do you work with people and every time you're fighting? You're fighting it. These are the board of directors. They set the pace of the organization, where the organization is supposed to go. So you can send in your proposal to them. They got the right to reject it. They get the right to send it back to you and send it to the president, work on X, Y, Z, and you do that. But when the guys doing that job, the president will get angry. Oh, these guys hate me. They don't want to listen to what I say. But because you guys are working as a team and something is not right on your proposal or whatever you send to them, they have the right to reject it. Nothing wrong with that. The board members are the most important, the most powerful people in a non-for-profit organization or these sort of organization we're running. They are very powerful. These are the people. Next, if you look at your own constitution, In the absence of the General Assembly, the board takes charge of the organization. But in our case, the president every time he's fighting with these guys, and our people are suffering back home. Children go to bed hungry. I mean, if you look at the people condition, it's sad. And then we are here fighting and fighting and fighting, and somebody wants to show that they know more than the other person. It's just sad. Some of us, it getting to a point where, I mean, we just have to focus on our plans, our personal plans, instead of wasting our time here. Because the guys are just discouraging people every day. That meeting was a total chaos. No control, no organization. The president will be there and say, there is nothing I can do, and there is not. Yes, there is something you can do. Use the technology to your advantage. But you'll be afraid and say, oh, when you stop somebody, they'll say, green. You will not please, but I mean, these people that are making noise, that are disturbing these teleconferences, they are your own supporters. So the president is afraid when he takes one of them off the line, they will go against him. And so he doesn't want to take action against them. But other people got important things to do. They can get on the line, your supporters, I mean, they're just disturbing. They're adding a bunch of children. And I mean, that lady was insulting Mr. Sagwe for whatever reason. I was like, he's serious? And the other guy there insulting Jaryee Morris all day. You're just passing the guys, disturbed the whole meeting. Somehow I got off the meeting because it was just nonsense. Total nonsense. The people in Liberia, they're looking up to us. We get United States Association in Liberia. I mean, in America, the people care for us. Let me tell you, those are in Liberia. With the current leadership right now, the guys don't care about you. No. What is show when we go to meeting? Nothing we can achieve. They don't show that they care for you. They only show that they care for themselves. They want to come to Liberia, take money from their account, and come and bluff. That's what they care for. Why do you have to go to Liberia to dedicate next quarter? To do what? When children are not in school. When people know safe drinking water over there. You can't buy a massive generator and power those various towns over there. You can't buy mosquito nets to help our people for mosquito to stop injecting them with malaria. We can't do those basic things. You got to sit on teleconference and argue, and people insult each other because Green Judeo wants to go to Liberia. He doesn't have to go to Liberia. President Judeo went to Liberia before. Nothing was got from out of that trip. Everybody generated money in the organization. They approved, the board approved $3,000 to give it to him. The group in Minnesota said the money is not enough. They went against the Constitution. They took additional $3,000 to give it to him. All the members in the union, they make personal individual contribution. The president came by, no report. Then he asking, not too long ago, his vice president was sent to Liberia. The board approved another money. The other board member, College Ebele, they approved some money to be given to her. That money wasn't given. The president is not giving account of this thing, but he still wants more money to go to Liberia to do what? Let's spend the money wisely. And we'll be talking. People don't like it and say, oh, the organization is falling apart. Those that want to see the organization is not falling apart, but we're going to do the right thing. We're going to speak when the guys are doing the wrong things. The organization been around for too long for people to be suffering back home. And we say we're both people with no book, we educated people, and we can use the document to get the small money in their account, and people are arguing. It's a leadership problem. And the Bible that says that, I mean, it says Proverbs 29:18. Lack of vision, the people perish. And that's what we are right now. Our people are suffering bound. They are perishing bound. We got an organization with potential, but all we do is get on the telephone and argue and insult each other and do all these different things. Imagine Mr. Quiah who retaliated to and started to cuss that lady. What would have meant? But the lady just went off on the man and just insulted the man, saying all the different things that, I mean, like, something, and the president intervened. The president said, apologize to Mr. Sagwe. The woman refused to do so. But I thought it was a facade. The president's intervention was not genuine. Why? It's because you have to put in mechanisms in place when you are coming to meetings like that. You know, people, some people, it's not once, it's not twice, multiple times we go to meeting, people disturb. So there should be a mechanism in place to stop people that disturb meeting. When the president comes there, you pre-discuss with the people, you come there with some note. So that thing you were saying, oh, I apologize, it was just a show off to appear like the good guy. But it was not genuine, it was not sincere. The feeling that thing was pre-planned. Yes. It's sad. You insult your elders in the community, people that sacrifice because you have the organization, you get on teleconference because you have your own thing against the person, and you insult the man. Insulting each other. So, all right, so that's the leadership, the leadership with our law and order. President Gio, we have a law, the organization has a constitution, but the president does not want to obey the constitution. Right now, the constitution does not cover him to get allowance and those things you are asking for. No, the constitution does not cover because a 3-year term over. So right now, he's serving the interim capacity, some interim arrangement that was made by the elders. So constitutionally, he's not covered anymore. So you shouldn't be taking money citing the constitution. The arrangement right now is between the president and the elders. The people mandate is over. The people gave you that mandate for 3 years. The 3 years over until the people go back to the ballot box. President Gio is not their president. He's just acting in the interim based on the COVID-19 because the people wanted to set up interim administration and they refused to try to make a confusion out of it. And that's how the elders say, you know what, instead of making confusion, we can stay there tentatively until we go to convention or until the virus subsides or whatever the case may be. But the guys, they're just bent on confusion. And people are suffering back home. What I saw the other day, President Gio went all the way to ZARZAR. He saw how people are living in SIONE, and he's still requesting $16,000 so he can pay a 5-star hotel. It doesn't make sense. Let's send the money to the people over there. That help. Let the people see our footprint back home that we're doing something. I was in Moravia the other day, a young man, Eric or Katie, I think, the gospel we need people who won't go to school. I mean, those things the guys were naming. The board approved scholarship. President Gio doesn't want to implement that. They gave $10,000 to give to the people in the midst of the COVID. Green has not delivered that money up to now. But then he turning around, he wants $16,000, and the board said, no, sir, we can't give you the money. And the guys will get on the teleconference and start to insult people. It's sad. That should let's see a reason with each other for a second. Does it make sense to go to Liberia and spend $16,000 you alone, whereas the first trade you made, you spend a lot of money to give a basic report? You can give a report, but you're still asking for more money. The organization, like I said, is not an ATM for President Gio. No, we're not going to use an ATM machine. If he wants to go to Liberia, he can buy his own ticket and go dedicate the building. But we don't need him to take $16,000 when women, pregnant women, some of them, they die in labor. People over there, the motorbike, there's a low man over all the time, Obuti. The girlfriend died because they put the girl on the motorbike and stuff like that. We can't buy an ambulance or something. We can't put medical equipment in a hospital in ZARZAR, and you want $16,000 and people get on teleconference. Your surrogates that are insulting the people that establish your organization or that have been holding the organization together. Our community is a mess. But we are not going to be quiet. We're going to still keep talking until President Gio leaves because he's the problem. Just the same way Trump was a problem in the country and the American people expelled him. And that's the same way when the COVID next August, we're going to make sure that President Gio leaves so that the people will get the care that they need. We're going to do that. Yeah, so that's USAA in peril. It is in danger. Until President Gio leaves, the organization will not go nowhere. Will not do anything. We'll be breaking about Nessus quarter 24/7. Nessus quarter does nothing for the people over there. Nothing. If you go, you present the building to the people when they are sick, they're not going to go in nurse's quarter. When the children don't have school fees, they're not going to go in nurse's quarter. When they're sick, they're not going to go to nurse's quarter. Nothing you can do over there. Mosquito biting there every day. And you're saying, I love my people, but I'll build nurse's quarter of medical professional to go sleep there. Meanwhile, the people you care for, they can't go in that building. But our people thinking sometimes it's just upside down. They're thinking it's weird. We'll talk, we did our best in North Dakota for the money to be put in something that will add value to our people. But the people decided to build nurse's quarter to decorate the land. That's why I call it geographical decoration. The land has been decorated and the people are sleeping in darkness, drinking dirty water. We're going to the creek. We can't build here for nothing. You can buy barrels and barrels of slippers, shoes, and send it to the children over there. You can supply practically all the 6 towns or 6 sections in the Sapo region with the money the organization has. For President Gio and his team, they see the organization bank account as an ATM for them to request money. Why you need $16,000 when people are suffering in Liberia? And then when people go on the teleconference, they want to argue and they stop. Who told you? Where in the Constitution of the United Sapo Association? I was listening to the other guy. Oh, the people that gather on the teleconference, they constitute General Assembly. Where? Ain't nowhere in the United Sapo Association or Constitution that you have anything written like that. I've read that document plethora of times. Many times I read that. Ain't nowhere they measure teleconference or General Assembly. No. But the guys, in order to spike confusion, to start nonsense, they come up with weird and ridiculous theories, that don't make sense, that have no evidential backing. So they will get it. Oh, the people that got a general conference is General Assembly. No, they said you're according to your Constitution. Article 21, 1.1 is clear. The people that sitting in convention constitute General Assembly, and not at a conference. Don't think they're out there, just read. Start manufacturing your own thing just for you guys to curse people out. When people try to give the facts, the constitutional facts, you make noise. You argue with them. Until you amend the Constitution and put in teleconference amounts to General Assembly, you don't have it right now. As is right now, as the Constitution is written, there is nothing teleconference does not amount to General Assembly. No. You guys got to get that. And you want to use that and say decision from teleconference will be binding on everyone. That's not your Constitution. You are writing your own Constitution. If you don't want to go by your written document, which President Vio himself set up a team to redict or to amend, and they don't want to follow their own document, then what is the point of putting people to work? And you just come and bring these frivolous and bogus arguments in when people try to curse people out. So we want to use the platform to apologize to the chairman of the board of directors, Mr. Issa Sabwe, who was insulted by our lady during the teleconference because they have philosophical or ideological disagreement. The chairman of the board does not agree with him or with her, and she decided to go personal. We also want to apologize to Kuli Morris for the other young man insulting him for no reason. Going as far as, desecrating our culture, our tradition. Telling the man Kuli that are fake traditionalists. You know what it means? Kuli, those guys are the people that hold in the tradition. The guys that come in the West and they put their own thing down. Oh, that's how you get a fake stuff. You don't understand your own culture. Those are people that they don't know their own roots. And so when they come in the West, they pretend that, they know people that don't know nothing. Somehow we don't know nothing, but some of those guys are bad off. You don't even know yourself. You don't know yourself. And that was Socrates. One of the lines he has is know thyself. You got to know yourself. If you don't know yourself and you put your culture, your tradition, those things that make you, and you denigrate those things, then you are denigrating yourself by definition. Put yourself down. And that's what the guys were doing in the telecompany. You're cussing fully out. Oh, fake to me you get. Traditional stuff where you in is fake. Yeah, the man is in the West now, so you can say anything to anybody. Yeah. So that way you find yourself. Okay, let's transition here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard. Saying Hunter, welcome aboard. Nora, welcome aboard. Pakala, Uma, Gomez, actually. Sylvester, Malu, Maurice, what's up, buddy? Hillary, how you doing, Hillary? My mom is also following, so I gotta watch what I say. Yomo Pine and Brightness, the first lady is also following the voice sign. All right, so now let me go to the next thing here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's transition to something else. All right, so the next thing we want to talk about here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is it has to do with the lawmakers. You know, this is the voice of SIONE, so the development from SIONE, we got to give it to you. Recently, the lawmaker of Electoral District Number 3, SIONE County, which is Honorable ZARZAR, and the representative of Electoral District Number 2, SIONE County, CRAYTON DUNCAN, the guys were promoted. You know, you see, when you are in school, for example, you are in a class, and let's say you are in second, third, whatever class it is. If you do not perform to expectation, you wouldn't be promoted to the next class. So your job performance, it tells the teacher that the person is prepared for the next class. And so the lawmaker, Mr. ZARZAR, was made co-chairman on a committee in the House called Ways, Means, and Finance. As a strategic and major committee in the House of Representatives. Because those are the people that find, listen to the name, Ways, Means, and Finance. Okay, so they find way, they find means how to gather resources for development of the country. You know, so finance, of course, money, and this makes sense. You see, you put people in areas where they will perform, where their strength, where they got their strength. Because ZARZAR is the financial expert. It's a finance man. So if you put in that committee, you will perform to the maximum expectation or maximum satisfaction. Because that's what he went to school for all his years. The finance man. So Mr. ZARZAR will place on the finance, Ways, Means, and Finance Committee in the House. Also, we want to say congratulations to the lawmaker. We want you to do the right thing as you have been doing. And that's why we continue our advocacy. We continue to support this lawmaker because he's doing the right thing for the people. So now, SIONE County, when it comes to budgetary allocations and those things, we stand a better chance because we have somebody with the integrity, with the history, that will advocate for SIONE County. So putting on the Ways, Means, and Finance Committee to financial allocations, SIONE County will be the good shape. And that's why we are happy that the guy who was a county president from the church is not there anymore. So the leaders now, just in case we have better budget in the future, the guys will properly use the money to build the county, to undertake projects in the county. So we want to say congratulations to Honorable ZARZAR for the promotion. Also, CRAYTON DUNCAN, District Number 2, was also put on, made chairman of the House of Representatives Special Standing Committee for Foreign Affairs, Foreign Relations. He's the mayor on that committee. Was also put there to spearhead foreign activities of the Liberian government or Liberian House of Representatives, stuff like that. So we want to also say congratulations to CRAYTON DUNCAN. We need the leaders to work for the people, not for themselves. And so, I mean, a lot of time I read some articles and people will say this person was placed on a lucrative committee. Okay, when you say lucrative, I mean, it means that a lot of money was there, they will get rich and stuff like that. And so when you are placed on a lucrative committee, that money should not be used for yourself. Use your skills, your knowledge to get money for the people, for the improvement of the people's lives. It shouldn't be about, oh, I win the lottery ticket now. You know, I'm on a lucrative committee, and so I'll line my pocket with money. No, it should be the people's pocket. Come up with ideas. Come up with something that will improve the lives of the people and not your own pocket. So we want to say congratulations to Honorable ZARZAR and Duncan for the elevation. Sano County. Some of us, we are here, we're talking. It's not because we like talking. We want to see the right thing done for the people. So when the right people are in the right places, we have no problem. We are there, but you must produce results. You change the lives of the people positively, not negatively. Not carrying the people's lives backwards. You need some progress. You see, the development of Liberia will start from, imagine you have Grand Jide built. When the leaders, when the money is sent to the county, people build a place. Imagine Nima County is built. Imagine Lofa County is built. Imagine Grand Crew is built. Sano is built. Bapulu is built. Grand Basso is built. That's Liberia developing. You're developing Liberia. And so, having the right leaders in the various counties is a good place. At a local level or at a national level, when the counties are represented by honorable and decent people at the level of the legislature, and then at the local level as well, when you have the right people in power, it will change. Let me show you something here. I want to show you something to do. You see, this is a book in my hand here. It was written by Greg Mills. See, why Africa is poor and what African can do about it. And the author of this book, he said, poverty is now optional. That's what he said. Poverty is now optional. And poverty is an option right now because of leadership. If your leaders don't do the decisions that the leaders will make, will either improve the lives of the people and will carry the people's lives backwards. So I want some of the leaders to read it. I mean, he didn't just point out problems, he gets solutions. What African can do about the poverty in Africa. So there's something to read. So leadership, the problems in Liberia is all, it boils down to leadership. You have the proper leaders in power with the right vision, the right motive, with the right plan. The country will start to change in no time. It doesn't take so now hear these arguments, oh, these problems have been existing for many years and we can do it in 4, 5, 6, 7 years. But let's see pronounced improvement in 6 or 7 years. And we'll know that progress has been made. Well, in 6 or 12 years, you get 2 roads buildings. Oh, that's what the government did. Then you have terrible leaders. And then you are making your people poorer and poorer. So we want to say congratulations to CRAYTON Duncan and ZARZAR for the promotion. Let's get to, I think, the last one on my talking point tonight I want to talk about. And this is what I want to talk about next. You see, a recent by-election or midterm election in Liberia, the people went to the ballot box. And the reason for the election was for the people to make a decision, to choose who they want and who they don't want. And before I go into discussion on that point, let me read my bullet point. Madam Grace BRIAMAH and OTHELLO NAGBE KOJO placed their selfish quest for power over the interests of the people of SIONE. The people of SIONE County during the midterm election just passed, they went to the ballot box. Those guys, the various candidates, they went from one corner to another inside the county, by extension, other counties in the country. And the reason they did that was to make their case to the people. So they made their case. Some of them even have platform. In my county, of the candidates that ran, Mr. Sampson Weah was the only person that had a platform, a presenter platform to the people. The rest of the people that contested, there was no platform, including my own senator, Senator Augustine Chia. This is the voice of sign. I'm not here to patronize people. I give you the facts. Say it as is. If you like it, fine. If you don't, that's fine. I'm not here to appease anybody. But you know, the people of Sano County, they elected Senator Augustine Chia because the 1.5 years he was in Senate, they could see something from him. So whether he presented a platform or not, they look at the little time he was in Parliament, and they saw what he did and what he's doing now. So on that grounds, people say, you know what, we have to put the man back. Man is building vocational school. The man is now building the brand new Sano community radio station and other things, you know, collaborating with the other lawmakers to serve the people of Sano County. And so on that basis, Senator Augustine Chia was re-elected. Mr. Thomas Romeo Quiah made a case to the people. You were rejected for the fifth time. Mana BRIAMAH, she contested as well against Senator Augustine Chia. She was defeated. The people said, no, we don't want you. The same thing in electoral district number 2. We got OTHELLO KOJO, we had Patrick Core, we got other guys that contested in that district. And the people, they say, you know what, we want Sampson Weah. They made a call. So instead of OTHELLO KOJO and Mana BRIAMAH obeying the command, the democratic command of the people, the guy said, no, we are above you. Our interest first. Our selfish quest for power is first. We don't care for you. And so, the 54th legislature, the started session, Sano County, the second senator, Senator Augustine Chia, has now started work. The representative for electoral district number 2, Mr. Sampson Weah, has now started work because BRIAMAH and OTHELLO KOJO, they don't care for the people well-being. They are so desperate for power that they don't want the people to be served. And so they are holding the people position hostage. They are going from court to court, even though the result will not be turned around in their favor. BRIAMAH was relegated by over 2,000 votes. The people, they spoke clearly, unequivocally, unambiguously. They spoke. They sent a message to her. But the woman said, you know what? In order to carry in deeper poverty, in order to exacerbate your economic condition, I will make sure that you are not represented in the Senate. I will hold you hostage. And so that's what Sano County is right now. The second senator is not in Congress right now. The lawmaker for electoral district number 2, Sampson Weah, supposed to be in office as well, doing the people work. OTHELLO KOJO listening to the anarchists in the county, TIJ, is making unnecessary noise and going to court. We not say don't go to court, but if you look at the evidence that is percolating, that is coming out right now, OTHELLO KOJO will not be the representative for electoral district number 2. No way. The people told OTHELLO KOJO over and over, get from beyond the criminal that you are following. But OTHELLO KOJO refused to listen. This man does not care for us, and that's why he abandoned 74 projects in our county. But you are following him. Our son died, Nagbe's Lord died. Milton Teje he didn't care to come to us, to sympathize with us. He didn't send a message, and you are following this guy. Othello KOJO, the Ghana man. This is the Ghana man, the same way Nango Diki is a foreigner, and now he was forced to resign. He was forced to resign. It's the same thing. Othello KOJO, we're saying the first message that, you know what, we don't want you. He contested for senator. The people of Sano County rejected Othello KOJO. They rejected him. KOJO again went to court. Senator Augustine Chie got the office based on NEC verdict. So the Othello KOJO over there, you see, that man doesn't look the Liberian man. But we told the people over Senator Teje wants his puppet to represent the people of electoral district number 2, and the people are saying, no, we don't want the man, we want something where. They made that clear to Othello KOJO, his Confucianists, a father, Teje. So we'll keep talking. Eventually, something where will be, you'll be seated. You'll go to office finally. Even though they're doing everything in Othello KOJO, they are the first stage right now. And the first stage, the evidence that we are getting, will tell you initial contention is that the stronghold or some of the areas that he thought that the majority of the people voted for him, they started late and they closed early. But the evidence coming out right now says that the people they started late is true, but they extended the time. Some of the places they closed, even though they start I think 8 and then they close at 6 or so. But they started late, and so they went as far as on 12 a.m. the next day, just so that everybody would tell people or would tell them when I lied that the people they open late and they close early. The evidence now coming up saying something different. So Othello KOJO is on the brink of defeat. As a matter of fact, he has been defeated, but he is throwing political temper tantrum. He doesn't want to be defeated for the second time. And the people told you clearly. You're seeing the wings of the democratic forces in Sano County. The people are telling you that we don't want you. Go and follow Teje. If Teje wants to make you office boy, he can do that. But we don't want you. Othello KOJO prolonging. Othello says when the first stage, after the ruling in favor of something where the case will go to the board of NEC. From there, when they rule in favor of something where you go to the Supreme Court, when the Supreme Court rules in favor of something where you're going to go to the ECOWAS court, just so that the people of Sano County will not be represented. That's what Othello's goal, so that the people can remain in poverty. While him and Teje, they are sleeping on power. The electricity 24/7 can eat as many times as they want. But the people say, you know what, we want something where to go and represent us so that he can bring the bacon home, so he can bring home the goodies. So we too, our children will go to good schools, so that we'll have hospitals in our county, so that the men will advocate for roads to come to our county, so that we'll have schools. After all, Senator Teje was given opportunity to build schools in Sino, he put the money in your pocket. He built prostitution center, or I call it, the regular name for that is motel, other people call it is a prostitution center. How is it that you use the people money to build motel, and the people did not earmark motel to be constructed? How is it that you use the people money and you build your personal radio station so you can run propaganda? And so Senator Teje radio station in Sano is called Radio Kigali. It's there to cause chaos, to put the people apart. The guys will get on that radio and they're preaching negative tribalism. That's what they do on that show, on our radio station. That was why CRAYTON Duncan was compelled to build his own so that they can counter TIJ's Radio Kigali's rhetoric. And that is why the electoral edition number 3, Honorable ZARZAR is putting effort. He has been doing it. Even the late Senator Mabutu, those guys, they were also putting money into the Drawson community radio station so that the people will not get the false information from TIJ and his group. That don't mean well. That is why the lawmakers, CRAYTON Duncan, ZARZAR, the late NAGBE law, the guys they put together, and they were trying to upgrade SIONE community radio station. Senator Augustine Chie said, you know what, guys, I will foot the bill for that edifice. I will take care of it. So Augustine Chie now is building a brand new community radio station for SIONE radio station. So that's what we call teamwork. A man who isolated himself, he said, you know what, I fired myself from SIONE legislative caucus. I don't want to be part of the caucus. And that's the man OTHELLO KOJO is following. He thinks that people something wrong with the people inside the county to make him their lawmaker. KOJO would like to see him go to God's court. Yes. He will not be senator or representative inside the county. It's a bad news for the guy. You know why he got a bad news? Because he got a bad man behind him. Man is just pushing you, pulling you. I always say that you are more educated than TIJ, and then TIJ is making you like a puppet. Yes, using OTHELLO KOJO. Samson Wea is, I don't know him for too long, but the people say you can know a good man when you see him or her, or you see a good woman as well. You can tell sometimes. You don't need several years to know good people. Samson Wea is a decent man, a man in the other day, down to earth man. But Senator TIJ doesn't want to see the man. When the man was the director for the medical team in SIONE, Senator TIJ was fighting for the man to be removed from the position. So everywhere the guy is just attacking everybody. And then when we say this thing, the people say, oh, the guy just he likes to talk about TIJ. Because the man is a problem. Remember, leaders, they set the pace, whether the people will make progress or they will go backwards. And this guy is a leader for our county, and he's causing problems. We got to say until we leave, we take that man from there. 2023, it's a done deal for TIJ and a crew. It's done. I would say that people children are suffering in the county, for the lawmakers to go there and advocate for the people, and now they are not, SIONE is not represented fully. No, Augustine Chie is not in office. Samson Wea is not in office. Grace BRIAMAH, a woman, are supposed to have a motherly heart. The woman has become a TIJist. She has adopted the doctrine of TIJ, which is callousness. Don't care. It's all about me. Once it's not in my interest, I don't care for the rest of the people. That's the attitude Grace BRIAMAH has adopted. Because had she not protested too, OTHELLO KOJO's frivolous case would not have a magnitude. And so they want to buttress OTHELLO KOJO case. They say, you know what? Make agitate as well, BRIAMAH. Agitate. They're just pushing them because they don't have their own brain. You want the guy to push them all over the place, like, I don't know, like a wind blowing object all over the place. That's what the guys are. How heartless can you be? People are suffering in the country, and you say, what? I don't care whether your people are represented in parliament. You guys got to go represent our people. A lot of things are messing in the country. The late NAGBE law used to call district number 2 the working district, not Carroll. You guys are supposed to go and lobby. Sometimes we have got to go and lobby so that help will come to the people. But we have a struggle. But those who in struggle are not those that quit. We're going to stay in the struggle until our people are liberated on the tyranny of TIJ and supporters. We're going to speak until every child in SIONE County has access to decent housing, decent school, decent hospital, decent libraries. He can name the rest. Continue to talk. Becoming noise maker and troublemaker. I don't care for all those people. If ZARZAR does the wrong thing, I will count on ZARZAR. If Chia does the wrong thing, I will get on Chia. If something we does the wrong thing, I will come after him. All the leaders and the non-leaders in the county, if you engage in action or actions that are inimical to the progress of the county, we're going to descend on you. So the boy said, oh, why you can't talk about ZARZAR? Okay, tell me what ZARZAR has done wrong, and we'll talk about it. And do so with evidence. Don't come tell me, say, ZARZAR did this one, you can't give me anything to prove that. Or you can say, Augustine Chia did this, and you can't give me evidence to prove that. Give me evidence. Once I have a document in my possession, those guys will be exposed maximally. All right, guys, we want to leave here for the night. We want to say thank you so much for joining. Even my lawmaker is following. Samson Weah, thanks for joining the show. Mr. William Sua, thanks for following me. Tamara, thanks for joining. Nora, thanks for joining. Kumba again, thanks for joining. Sylvester, thanks for joining. Maurice, thanks for joining. Gertrude, thanks for joining. Hillary, thanks for joining. Dr. Nessie ZARZAR, thanks for joining. James Panto, thanks for joining. Yumbo Pine, thanks for joining. Milton Shigwe, my man Shig, thanks for joining, and 3 others following. I can see your names. Brightness Star, thanks for joining the show. Gedru Goa, thanks for joining, and others. Mr. Mane, Pablo Mane, and others are following the show. We want to say thank you for joining us tonight. We are out for the night, and we will talk to you again. Our next show coming up. Let me see how we're closing the show. What I got for you here tonight for our closing music, and I will take you. Can't sound when? No, I will go to Grand Jada again.
Sandy on the beat.
When to
Ladies and gentlemen, have a pleasant night. We'll talk to you again.